Hello, everybody. Well, things are still hectic here at home, but I am indeed catching up on some personal things which I have left by the wayside for far too long, and I have now made it my goal to catch up and put my life in order. Anyway, that's that. As you can see, I have been busy in the background doing all kinds of other things. I did indeed, if you go on my community page, you'll see I wrote to Dr. Gowrie Motha, who is said to have been the doctor attending to both Archie and Lily's births. You will also see that I've worded in such a way that if I do not receive a reply, it will be seen as an admission that this was yet another lie and that she did indeed not attend. But anyway, let's leave that there. Let's give this woman enough time to reply to us. And if she doesn't, of course, like I said, it will be an admission that she did indeed not attend. But what I will do is, if I do receive a reply, of course, I will make it public and I will tell you all about it. So let's jump in today's video. Yes, I saw this coming, and I saw Megan's The Bench as confirmation of my hunch. But now that it has been formally announced, I have this sick, hollow feeling in the pit of my stomach, and don't ask me why, I just do. Of course, I'm talking about Harry's book, his memoirs. The book will be published by Penguin Random House and will be available in late 2022. According to the released statement, it will offer a definitive account of his experiences, adventures, losses, and life lessons that have helped shape him into the man he is now. Meanwhile, Harry said in a statement, I'm writing this not as the prince I was born, but as the man I have become. And then he carries on with some of his usual woke word salad, and I won't bore you with that. What neither Harry nor Penguin Random House is putting in their statements is that Harry is not writing the book himself. J.R. Moeringer, I hope I say his surname correctly, is named as Harry's ghostwriter. Yeah, right. We know that dear Henry is not all that educated, not very eloquent unless he has a speech written for him by an aide or his wife. So it is safe to assume that J.R. Moeringer is doing most of the writing. And I'm even going to take my guess further and say that it is likely that Mr. Moeringer and Harry's wife are writing this together with a little bit of information and tidbits coming from Harry himself. But that is just my guess. Now, Mr. Moeringer is not just some wannabe writer. No, no, no. He is a Pulitzer Prize winner and is currently working with George Clooney on an adaptation of one of his books called The Tender Bar. It is therefore being suggested that it was the Clooneys who suggested he work with Harry on his book. Okay, so there's that. Now, after all of this is said and done, what Penguin Random House and Harry also did not say in their statements is how much the advance on the book is. Well, it is reported to be in the region of $20 million. Now, the very sad and often ridiculous truth is that writing books is seldom a good way to make a living. Yes, there are exceptions like J.K. Rowling and James Patterson, etc., but in general, real authors very seldom receive huge advances, if any. An advance is based on a prediction of how well the publishers think a book will do, and is thus an advance on future royalties. However, if a book does not make as much as the advance was, an author could end up owing their publisher. With books written by public figures, politicians, and celebrities, the expected number of followers of this person and the curiosity will make publishers more confident that the book will sell at least enough copies to equal or surpass the advance. As far as I know, the biggest advance paid for a book to date was $20 million paid to Barack Obama for his book Dreams from My Father. Bill and Hillary Clinton currently holds second and third place. Bill at $15 million for his book My Life, and Hillary at $14 million for Living History. According to sources, the draft of Harry's memoir is actually complete. So I'm asking you now, why then is it said that it will only be released at the end of 2022? Now, I think that it is rather interesting to ask that question. What are they waiting for? I think they are waiting for the winding down of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee next year. Although the Platinum Jubilee pageant will take place on the 5th of June 2022, it is known that there will be smaller celebrations all over Britain and in other Commonwealth countries scattered throughout the year. So I think there is some truth in the stories, and Harry and his wife want to attend some of these celebrations, particularly the big one in June, and therefore they wish to have the book released after the celebrations. And in doing so, obviously, once again, blindside the family with their vitriol, because obviously no one knows what's in the book, and Harry can now easily convince the Queen that there's nothing negative in the book. And then once they've attended all these celebrations, they release the book, and voila, we have the Oprah interview number 2, this time just in book form. Anyway, I'm also noticing that certain royal reporters actually agree with me and are of the opinion that Harry's insistence on christening Lily in the Church of England has everything to do with them wanting to stay in the limelight and pretending to still have royal links, hoping to keep up the pretense at least until Harry's book comes out. Now, if that is true, and that is my suspicion, and it appears to be the suspicion of many a royal reporter, then all I can say is, how vile. Now, talking about blindsiding, I'm hearing that the family is once again blindsided by the announcement of the book, and that Harry did not say a word about it while he was in Britain for the unveiling of the statue. I'm also told that William is more than just a little angry. Well, folks, and this is my opinion, it is time Her Majesty the Queen protects and shows her loyalty to Prince Charles and Prince William and get rid of the Harkles. And she can do so by starting with their titles. Well, personally, I do not really know what more to say. The royal family's lack of decisive action is absolutely beyond me. The longer this situation continues, unfortunately, the worse it looks for the monarchy. And no, I do not think they need to wait for the actual book to know what it contains. Harry's last phone call with his mother, walking behind her coffin, his father's lack of warmth and attention, his short stint in Afghanistan, meeting Meghan, and the racist and bad treatment of his wife, blah, blah, blah. We can all be sure that that will be part of the content. And I also think that what I just said is basically it in a nutshell and would most likely make a good blurb for the back of the book, don't you think? What is particularly grating to me is Harry's words in his statement, the man he had become. Well, if he really feels that way, then I hope that the name on the cover of the book would not be Prince Harry, but instead Harry or Henry Mountbatten Windsor or Harry Wales, and that he should, without delay, renounce or abdicate all his titles and, regardless of that, not use it on the cover of the book. Okay, now before I go, I have been asked to mention something about the Archwell website. Well, first and foremost, I want to implore you to not go on the website, not even out of curiosity. Firstly, by going onto the website, it will enable them to track you. Secondly, the rules of the website make it very clear that whatever you post on the site will become the property of the Sussexes to use as they see fit without having to even give credit to the author or creator. I'm morally and ethically against that type of exploitation and would hope that you are too. I suggest that you watch Lady C's video, the one she posted yesterday, the 20th of July, starting at the 26 minutes 17 seconds mark. Lady C explains it very eloquently and says it much better than I can. And as far as this subject is concerned, I second her and agree with her on every word she spoke. Okay, folks, like I said, I'm busy doing a couple of things behind the scenes and investigating some of the stuff that I've received from all of you, also catching up on email and a couple of other things. So I'll be back as soon as I can. Until then, thank you for all your support. Take good care of yourselves and bye.